Edmonton have signed another defenseman heading into the 2023-24 season, which does start tonight. There's that, and there's a couple more roster notes to get to. I'll talk about all of those things and more, but first, please do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. We're officially getting into the new season, and that means there's going to be plenty of content on Oilers Digest. So starting things off, Travis Dermott is finally officially an Edmonton Oiler following what was quite a strong training camp with the club. He signed a one-year, two-way contract with the club yesterday, carrying a $775,000 salary. This signing yesterday was in conjunction with a few other transactions, most notably of which being the Evander Kane one, who was placed on LTIR by the club. My colleague Matt Pierce did an excellent job in his video yesterday in breaking down how the Edmonton Oilers used all of these moves to best maximize their salary cap space. I'll be popping that video up in the corner of the video now, so check that out. What this all means for Edmonton is that in the short term, they have another top six defense option, with Travis Dermott filling out this opening night roster on a defense core with Evan Bouchard, Mattias Ekholm, Ty Emberson, Darnell Nurse, Brett Kulak, and Troy Stecher. Dermott is coming off a 50-game stint with the Coyotes last year. His best work in his career came in Toronto in the first 3 seasons, and Edmonton obviously is going to be hoping that they get a return to the best that this guy has to offer. And the million-dollar question here is very obvious. Even with Travis Dermott, is this a good enough decor? Like I said in my last video, a massive allure to Dermott for Edmonton is his seamless ability to play left or right defense. Some players can do that quite easily, but other defensemen you'll see massively struggle with that, which is why you usually are going to see defense pairs consisting of one left shot and one right shot defenseman playing on their strong sides. That's the case for the first 2 pairs of the Oilers as well, and it would have been the case if Kulak was behind Stecher, but Dermott being able to play anything without missing a beat is a solid option to have, and it's valuable. Edmonton, of course, are going to look at this defense core and think it's stronger with Dermott, but I don't think it's hard to identify the biggest question mark here. It's the second pairing. Are Darnell Nurse and Ty Emberson good enough to be Edmonton's full-time second pair? I know that the answer I'm going to give kind of seems like a cop-out answer, but it is really just going to have to be a wait and see on that one. Like, over the past 4 seasons alone, we've seen Darnell Nurse be pretty much every kind of defenseman. We've seen him be a stud number 1. We've seen him simply play at the level that you'd expect an AHL call-up to play if the AHLer was having a bad game, right? Like it's been the two opposite sides of the spectrum and everything in between for Nurse in the last few seasons. So it's hard to say what you're going to get out of him. And for Ty Emberson, I've got faith in the guy, but the reality of the situation with Emberson is that you're asking a 24-year-old with 30 NHL games under your belt to be your number 4, and you're a cup contender. And so this isn't me saying that Emberson is not going to be up to the task. There's still a big fat question mark beside the question, can Edmonton win a cup with this defense? As I mentioned, the Edmonton Oilers open up their season against the Winnipeg Jets tonight. There have been a few different versions of the 18-player roster that the Oilers were going to go into today with, but as far as the forwards go, let's take a look at them. This has felt like the most likely configuration of the top 12. You know what you're getting in this first line. You're going to get the domination. You're going to get a good deal of production from Nugent-Hopkins and Hyman playing with Connor McDavid, but an incredibly interesting storyline to keep an eye on is how Leon Draisaitl is going to look flanked by Jeff Skinner and Victor Arvidsson. From there, it's your no-nonsense bottom 6 that are going to hit, they're going to grind, they're going to do their best to contribute offensively. Stuart Skinner is unsurprisingly confirmed as Edmonton's starter, and Winnipeg, unsurprisingly as well, going with Connor Hellebuyck. It's an 8 o'clock puck drop at Rogers Place tonight. Last piece of the news for the day is something I'm pretty happy about, with Edmonton reclaiming Raphael Lavoie from Vegas. Talking specifically about Lavoie, like I've said before, when you see a guy start off his career by scoring 5 goals and then 13 and then 25 and then 28, it means your player is on a positive developmental trajectory. Prior to getting banged up in the preseason, he was playing really well, and he looked like the kind of guy that would be a solid, I use this term a lot, but a solid break glass in case of emergency top 6 option where, yeah, if a bunch of your skilled guys get hurt, you're going to be weaker, but you're not promoting players that can't play in those roles. Instead of pushing a guy up from the bottom 6 that is not used to and not built for a top 6 role at all, you can keep those players in their positions and pull up somebody like Raphael Lavoie from the AHL team. Well, Vegas must have seen that potential in him as well, because they snapped him off waivers back on Monday. But much like Edmonton, Vegas didn't have a spot for Lavoie on their opening night roster, and he was placed on waivers again today. Edmonton placed a claim for him, and that's where some misreporting started. So I want to be clear here about everything. Jason Gregor reported that Lavoie was reclaimed by Edmonton and assigned to Bakersfield. That statement is about 50% true because Edmonton have claimed him, but Lavoie is not being assigned to Bakersfield. I'm not sure if you guys tuning into this video expected a lesson on the minutia of NHL waivers rules, but here we are. So when a team like Edmonton in this instance reclaims somebody off waivers, one of the three things that are going to happen is Edmonton is going to get the claim in, they'll get the player automatically, and he's going to be assigned to the AHL. That only happens if Edmonton is the only team to place a claim for Raphael Lavoie. If a team aside from the Oilers place a claim for Raphael Lavoie, it's going to complicate everything, and that's what happened. So if the team that had claimed Lavoie was ahead of Edmonton on the waiver order, they would get the player automatically. That didn't happen. Edmonton was ahead of the other team that claimed Lavoie in the waiver order. That means Edmonton gets the player. However, because there was another claim submitted for Lavoie, Edmonton are not able to automatically assign him to Bakersfield. They would have been if they were the only team that tried to claim him from Vegas. So Gregor has since updated his report with a correction. Edmonton have Lavoie, he's an Oiler, but if he wants to go down to Bakersfield, if the team wants him down to Bakersfield, he's going to have to be on and clear waivers. So the Oilers placing Lavoie on waivers would give him the opportunity, yet again, that some other team is going to claim him. It could be the team that claimed him today, or it could be Vegas again. So that to say, he's stuck in limbo for now. Edmonton can choose to place him on waivers whenever they want, but that's obviously going to be a risk, and the Oilers clearly like this player, obviously, evidently, and want him to be in the organization. But at least two other teams, one being the Vegas Golden Knights, feel the same way. Stan Bowman has a tough decision to make with this one, but for now, Raphael Lavoie remains an Oiler. Thanks so much for tuning into this video. Obviously, today is an exciting day. Edmonton kick off their year against Winnipeg. Let's go Oilers. Thanks for watching.